Okay, so now we're going to draw a 1-point perspective city. So we do need to start with a horizon line. So let's start with the horizon line. Make it straight on the paper. Line up your triangle. I'm just gonna, I guess that's kind of not center, but it's okay. It's actually probably going to be best if you put it a little bit more on top, because then that'll give you more room down here to draw more items or buildings. So you can choose where you would like your vanishing point. Your vanishing point can start probably anywhere in between this area right here. I'm just going to start mine at this point. So again, this is my horizon line, HL, and this will be my vanishing point. I'm not going to write it because it'll actually get in the way of my pictures. Now we're going to draw like the road, kind of where the buildings will go off of. So I'm just going to put mine right there. No reason why. And then right here. Okay, so now my buildings will be on this side and on this side. I'm going to start with a rectangle kind of right here. About that tall. It doesn't matter how you draw yours. Yours does not have to look exactly like mine. And then this is technically going to be the side of the building, which is going to be a rectangle. And then another straight line up and down. Remember, we're always going to line up our triangle at the bottom of the paper. And then we're going to connect these two lines. Right here. Okay, so now we have our first building that's going to be below the horizon line, as all of them will be. But now I need to connect my lines. So these lines need to be super, super light because we're actually like drawing the picture this time, to where those are not going to be our focal points. So super light line. Another super light line. Super light line. Okay, so I have a line connecting to all four corners of my rectangle, and depending on where I want to end this line is how wide my building is going to be. I'm probably just going to end it right here. So I'm going to bring this line up. And these lines can be darker because these are actually going to be our building. Then I want to darken that line from that point to this point. And then from this point to this point. I need a straight line going from this point to this point where that, I don't have it darkened yet, but to where it will intersect, which is right there. And then I can darken that line. And then I could also darken these lines as well. Okay, so that's my first building. Next, I'm going to draw probably a second one that's a little bit taller behind it. So, and this is where it's going to get kind of confusing, and this is kind of how advanced if you want to go. We need to realize that we need to start off with a rectangle or square. So, by using your triangle, it'll help you understand it, I think, a little bit better. Okay, so we need to realize we need to start off with a square or a cube or square rectangle. So I want it right along this like last time. And I know I started with this line last time, so that's what I'm going to start with again. Make this one kind of tall. I'm going to line this up with the end. I'm going to take it back. Okay, now I need to bring down this line. But notice how I cannot take it all the way down because technically the building would be in front of it. But I need to bring it all the way down at some sort of light line because I need to connect my edges. So I'm going to make a super light line now. You kind of see it? And then I'm going to connect them over here. So this one can be dark because you're still going to see it. It hasn't went behind this building. I'm going to make a super light line. And finally they will intersect. And that's just to get this line over here. So like I've been doing, each corner needs to come to the vanishing point. And these are really light lines as well. And I'm going to make this building probably stop around this area. So I'm going to draw a dark line from here to here. You see how the points intersect? That's how I know where I darken the line. And then obviously down below here. And then I can darken these as well. I'm going to leave it like this for now, and I'm going to move on to this side. Okay, so I'm going to start with another building on this side. Okay, so I'm going to start with this side. Again, lining the triangle to the bottom. I'm gonna make this one kind of go slightly off paper. So I'm just going to use these points over here. And then again my light lines from my vanishing point to each corner. Okay, I'm going to end it probably around right here. And take it all the way up to the edge on this one. Darken this line. I'm going to end it right here at this intersection. Oops. So here's my building, and I kind of put it off on the edge just because I wanted to take it all the way to the edge. I'm just trying to make each side look a little bit different. I'm going to start another building right here. I'm going to probably make this one of the taller ones. So that's my first line, which is kind of reflecting this edge. And take it all the way back. Make the line down. So I'm just making my rectangle right now. And remember, I don't want to go continue my dark line there. I'm just going to do a really light line. And then connect this corner to the other side to make my rectangle. Dark line right here, and then a light line. So there's that intersection point. Now light lines from the vanishing point to each corner. You close the door. All the way. Thank you. Make the building probably end around right here. So I'm going to draw that straight line. It intersects, and it intersects right here, so now that's where I'm going to stop my darkened line and connect the point. Okay. I think all my lines are dark enough, so that's my second building. I'm going to draw a third one right back here. Okay, so this one's actually going to be shorter. I don't really want it taller. So all I can really do is when I'm starting to draw that first rectangle, you're not really going to see much of it. So that's my dark line. A little bit over here. So here's the face of the rectangle, and now I'm going to connect my vanishing point to the corners. And then I'm going to end it probably a little further back, like right here. And then connect the lines or the points. Don't forget to draw that edge. It's going to be hardly anything, but it still goes there. That horizontal line, and then the vanishing point line. Remember, because that's still a face, so you still have the 4 corners that you see. And then I'm going to darken this one. I'm going to darken this one for the other building as well. Okay, so there we have 5 buildings. Now I'm going to want to add some sidewalks. So before we start doing any like details and designs on the building, I'm just going to make the sidewalks. And I just go a little bit out. Those are going to be darker lines. And then kind of the same length as the other one, just a little bit out. And darken these lines as well. Okay, so then you could see my sidewalks, you can see the buildings, and technically here is the middle of the road, so we can draw those dash lines now. We can start drawing and decorating how we would want our buildings to look. So I'm going to decorate one right now, and then you can decorate, you know, yours however you would like. You can add trees, you can add windows, but you still need to be using your triangle when you're using these. So for example, if I want to put windows right here, you would still have to use your vanishing point for the windows. So again, windows are rectangle. I'd want to draw how do I put this? Okay, well let me draw it first for you so you can see. So we have our windows going up. So again, our triangle aligned with everything. So I'm going to kind of find the center. Okay, so those are I found the center just so I could make sure it's spaced evenly. But here are the sides of the windows. And now when I want to draw the tops and the bottoms of the windows, I have to use my vanishing point because anything that you draw has to go with the vanishing point. So anything kind of like, I guess you could think anything at the top or the bottoms, like the top and the bottom line, on the side view, you need to use your vanishing point. But anything that's going like horizontally or vertically, you need to use your triangle. So now I'm going to use the vanishing point to find the top of that line and the bottom. And now we have a correctly placed window. So let's think about doing the other side. I'm glad I placed that center line so I know like equally spaced where the windows are going to be. If you want to even measure, I guess you can if you want to make sure it's correct. So I'm going to follow kind of the vanishing point and this line right here that I had already made, because the windows should be the same height. Just connect it a little bit. And then put it on the vanishing point, follow this line still, because I still want them to be the same height of windows. But always make sure that this is what I'm going to follow, but make sure that this is at the vanishing point still. Okay, so now we have 2 windows. And I'm going to do that for the rest of the buildings as well. I could do kind of different shapes of windows, different styles. They all should look different because they're all different buildings. I'm going to do that with a door in the center. So I'm going to actually finish this building. I'm going to draw the door real quick. So in this case, I did want the door in the center. So there would be my door, and I'm going to draw probably 2 more windows on there. Again, making sure it lines up with the vanishing point. Actually, I'm going to start with these lines. I don't want them any further than these windows, so it should still line up with this one. And then you see how I'm getting the widths from the previous window. I'm going to do these lines as well. And now I'm going to get the horizontal lines. Vanishing point to the windows. And vanishing point to the bottom of the windows. Now I can make all these darker lines. There we go. Once I start cleaning up my drawing, I'm probably going to erase a couple lines. I might put some windows off to the side over here as well, which would just be regular squares, regular triangles, probably some trees, however you would like to decorate it, but your buildings all need to be unique. Everything needs to go to the vanishing point, and that's how you would make your city.